The sun beats down on the Valley of the Kings. It is a place of profound silence. Here, the ancient Egyptians buried their pharaohs, their god-kings on earth. They cut deep into the limestone cliffs, creating hidden palaces for the afterlife. These tombs were designed to last for eternity. They were filled with treasures beyond imagination. Gold, jewels, and sacred objects meant to guide the soul on its journey to the next world. But this valley holds as many secrets as it does kings. It is a landscape of ghosts and whispers, stories of immense power, of great love, and of mysteries that have puzzled us for centuries. For generations, explorers and archaeologists have been drawn to this sacred ground. They come searching for answers. They dig through layers of sand and time, hoping to uncover the final resting places of Egypt's rulers. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle of this incredible civilization. But one mystery has always remained just out of reach. It is the story of a queen who vanished from history, a woman of immense power and legendary beauty. Her name is whispered on the desert wind. Her name is Nefertiti. Her tomb has never been found. It remains one of the greatest prizes in all of archaeology. Imagine standing at the entrance to a long-lost tomb. The air is thick with the dust of millennia. A seal, untouched for over 3,000 years, stands before you. What lies beyond? Is it a chamber filled with golden artifacts? Or is it an empty room, looted by ancient tomb robbers? This is the dream that fuels the search, the hope of being the first to see what has been hidden for so long. The quest for Nefertiti is more than just a search for treasure. It is a search for a lost chapter of human history, a quest to bring a powerful woman back into the light. The desert holds its secrets tightly. The heat shimmers above the sand, creating mirages that trick the eye. The silence can feel heavy, as if the spirits of the pharaohs are still watching over their domain. Every rock and every shadow seems to hold a clue. For those who search for Nefertiti, this valley is not just a place of death. It is a place of tantalizing possibility. A place where a single discovery could change everything we think we know about ancient Egypt. The hunt is on, and the world is watching, waiting for the desert to finally give up its most famous secret. The secret of the lost queen. Who was Nefertiti? Her name means the beautiful one has come, and she was, by all accounts, breathtaking. We know her face intimately from one of the most famous sculptures in the world. The painted bust, discovered in 1912, shows a woman of incredible grace and power. Her long neck, her symmetrical features, her serene and confident gaze. This is not just a queen, this is a work of art come to life. Her beauty was so legendary that it has captivated the world for over a century. She has become a symbol of ancient Egypt itself, a timeless icon of feminine power and elegance. But Nefertiti was so much more than just a pretty face. She was the wife of the pharaoh Akhenaten, a king who turned Egypt on its head. Together, they abandoned the old gods of Egypt. They stopped worshipping Amun-Ra and the vast pantheon of deities. Instead, they worshipped a single god, the Aten, the disk of the sun. This was a radical religious revolution. It changed everything about Egyptian society, from its art to its politics. And Nefertiti was at the very heart of this change. She was not just a wife. She was her husband's equal partner, a co-ruler who shared his divine authority. We see her in ancient carvings, standing shoulder to shoulder with Akhenaten. She is shown in poses once reserved only for the pharaoh. She drives her own chariot. She makes offerings to the Aten. In one shocking image, she is even shown smiting Egypt's enemies, a role traditionally held by the male king. This suggests she wielded immense power, perhaps even becoming a pharaoh in her own right after her husband's death. She was a priestess, a political force, and a mother to 6 daughters. Nefertiti was a revolutionary figure, a woman who broke all the rules of her time. Then, suddenly, she disappears. Around the 12th year of Akhenaten's reign, all mentions of Nefertiti vanish from the historical record. It is as if she was erased from history. Did she die? Was she exiled? Or did she take on a new name and continue to rule? This is the central mystery. Her vanishing act is what makes finding her tomb so important. It holds the key to understanding the end of this dramatic period. Her final resting place would not just be a tomb, it would be the final chapter in the story of a queen who dared to change the world. For centuries, the story of Nefertiti and Akhenaten was followed by a period of confusion. Then came the boy king, Tutankhamun. He was thought to be a minor pharaoh, insignificant in the grand sweep of Egyptian history. He took the throne as a child and died before he was 20. His main achievement was restoring the old gods and moving the capital back to Thebes, undoing the revolution of his predecessors. For a long time, historians paid him little attention. His name was just a footnote. That all changed in the 20th century, thanks to the stubborn determination of one man. His name was Howard Carter. He was a British archaeologist who was convinced that Tutankhamun's tomb was still waiting to be found in the Valley of the Kings. For 5 long years he searched. His sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, was losing patience. Time and money were running out. Then, on November 4, 1922, a young water boy stumbled on a step cut into the rock. Carter's team cleared the sand and dust. They revealed a staircase leading down into the bedrock. At the bottom was a sealed doorway, stamped with the seals of the royal necropolis. Carter knew he was on the verge of something extraordinary. With trembling hands, Carter made a small hole in the top corner of the doorway. He held up a candle and peered inside. The air that rushed out was hot, carrying the scent of perfume and ancient oils. Lord Carnarvon stood behind him, asking anxiously, "Can you see anything?" Carter was speechless for a moment. Then he uttered the famous words, "Yes, wonderful things." What he saw was a chamber filled with gold. Glimmering treasures were piled everywhere. Gilded chariots, strange animal statues, golden thrones, and alabaster jars. It was a sight that no modern human had ever seen. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was a global sensation. It was the first time a nearly intact royal Egyptian tomb had ever been found. It gave us an unprecedented glimpse into the wealth and ritual of the pharaohs. The tomb contained over 5,000 objects, each one a masterpiece of craftsmanship. And in the burial chamber, Carter found the ultimate prize, the solid gold sarcophagus of the boy king himself. The discovery made Tutankhamun the most famous pharaoh of all. The minor king became a superstar, and his golden mask became a symbol of ancient mystery and splendor. The world was gripped by Egyptomania. For decades, we thought we knew everything about Tutankhamun's tomb. It was, well, a small tomb for a pharaoh, probably prepared in a hurry because of his unexpected death. It seemed complete, almost like a perfect time capsule. But you know, a closer look revealed some strange clues. The tomb's layout was unusual, more like a queen's tomb than a king's. And the treasures inside? They seemed to be a mix of his own, and some inherited from others. Even the famous golden mask. Some experts actually believe it may have originally been made for a woman, maybe even for Nefertiti herself, before being repurposed for Tutankhamun. The puzzle pieces just didn't quite fit. Then, in 2015, a British Egyptologist named Nicholas Reeves looked at the tomb in a completely new way. He wasn't in Egypt digging in the sand. He was in his office, studying these high-resolution laser scans of the walls of Tutankhamun's burial chamber. The scans were so detailed that they could show every tiny bump and crack in the plaster. And that's when Reeves noticed something no one had seen before. Faint lines, hidden beneath the paint and plaster. They looked like the outlines of 2 sealed-up doorways, one on the north wall and another on the west wall. It was honestly a breathtaking theory. The most exciting of these possible doorways was on the north wall. The painted scenes there, which show Tutankhamun's successor performing a ritual, seemed to cover a hidden entrance. Reeves argued that Tutankhamun's tomb wasn't a standalone structure at all. He proposed it was just the antechamber, the outer corridor of a much larger tomb, a tomb that had been sealed up and hidden when the boy king was buried. So, whose tomb could it be? Given the timeline and the royal lineage, there was one spectacular candidate. Could it be the final resting place of Nefertiti? The theory sent shockwaves through the world of Egyptology. Could it really be possible that the greatest lost tomb of all was hiding in plain sight, right behind the wall of the most famous tomb ever found? It seemed almost too good to be true. Was Nefertiti, the powerful queen, buried first, only to have her grand tomb partially repurposed for the hurried burial of her stepson, Tutankhamun? The idea was electrifying. It suggested that Carter's wonderful things were just the beginning. The greatest discovery could still be waiting, just a few feet away, behind a thin layer of plaster and paint. Nicholas Reeves's theory was compelling, but, well, it was just a theory. To prove it, archaeologists needed to look behind the walls without destroying them. This is where cutting-edge technology comes in. The hunt for Nefertiti has moved from picks and shovels to radar and thermal imaging. It's kind of like giving archaeologists a form of X-ray vision. Teams of experts from all over the world descended on the Valley of the Kings, bringing with them sophisticated equipment designed to peer through solid rock and reveal what lies beyond. The tomb, suddenly, became a high-tech laboratory. The first technology used was ground-penetrating radar, or GPR. A device is moved slowly across the surface of the wall, sending out radio waves. These waves bounce back when they hit different materials. If there's a void or a hidden chamber on the other side, the radar signal changes. The initial radar scans were, honestly, tantalizing. A Japanese team announced that their data showed a high probability of not just one, but two hidden chambers. They even claimed to have detected metallic and organic substances inside. The world held its breath. It really seemed like the discovery was imminent. However, science demands proof and repeatability. Subsequent radar scans conducted by different teams produced conflicting results. Some found evidence of anomalies, while others found nothing at all. The excitement quickly turned to confusion and debate. The rock in the Valley of the Kings is naturally fractured, which can create false readings. Was the radar detecting a hidden tomb, or just a natural crack in the stone? Another technology, infrared thermography, was used. This involves heating the wall and then filming it as it cools. Hidden voids would cool at a different rate, creating a cold spot on the thermal image. But the results remained inconclusive. Each new scan seemed to add another layer of mystery, rather than providing a clear answer. The search for Nefertiti became a story of scientific drama, of hope and disappointment. It really highlights the immense difficulty of searching for something that's been hidden for over 3,300 years. The technology is incredible, but the desert and the stone are a formidable challenge. The ghost in the machine, the faint signal of a possible chamber, kept appearing and disappearing. The quest was far from over. It just became more complicated. What would it mean if we actually found Nefertiti's tomb? The impact would be monumental. It would be, without exaggeration, the greatest archaeological discovery of the 21st century. It would eclipse even the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. Why? Because Tutankhamun was a minor king who restored the old ways. Nefertiti, on the other hand, was a central figure in a dramatic revolution that changed Egypt forever. Her tomb is not just about gold and treasure, it's about answers. It holds the potential to solve some of the biggest puzzles of ancient Egyptian history and rewrite the books. First, it would finally tell us what happened to her. Finding her mummy would allow us to know how and when she died. DNA analysis could confirm her relationship to Tutankhamun and other members of the royal family. Was she his mother? His stepmother? The science could settle decades of debate. But the tomb's inscriptions and artwork would be even more valuable. They would tell her story in her own words. They could reveal whether she did in fact rule as a pharaoh after Akhenaten's death, providing a definitive end to her mysterious disappearance from the records. Imagine opening a chamber and finding it untouched by tomb robbers, an intact royal burial from the Amarna period. It would be a treasure trove of information. The art style of this period was unique and radical, and a complete funerary collection would be priceless. More than that, we might find texts, scrolls of papyrus that could be a lost library of religious and political thought from the time of the Sun King. These documents could explain the ideas behind the Atenist revolution in a way we've only ever guessed at. We would finally understand this strange and fascinating era from the inside. So, the search goes on. The mystery of the hidden chambers in Tutankhamun's tomb is not yet solved. New technologies are being developed, and new proposals to scan the valley are always being considered. The allure of Nefertiti is as strong as ever. She remains a powerful symbol of beauty, power, and mystery. Finding her would be like bringing a legend to life. It would connect us directly to this extraordinary woman who lived so long ago. The sands of Egypt still hold their secrets, but with each passing year, and with each new technological advance, we get one step closer to uncovering the truth. The whisper of the lost queen is getting louder.